So, how does an artist go from being a character loved by millions of kids to becoming one of the most dynamic and unpredictable forces in pop music? Well, that's the story of Miley Cyrus, a true master of the art of reinvention.
And that's a really big question, right? For Miley, the answer meant she had to deliberately tear down a billion-dollar brand just to build something new, something that was completely and totally her. Her career is just a fascinating case study in transformation.
Okay, so just look at this. This side-by-side really says it all, doesn't it? On the left, that's Miley in 2009. Super polished, still very much that Disney star. Then, bam, on the right, just 2 years later, you can already see this edgier, more provocative style starting to emerge. And that visual shift, it was only the beginning.
To really understand the reinvention, we have to go back, way back, to the very beginning, with the absolute explosion of fame that came from one of Disney's biggest shows of all time.
So get this, born Destiny Hope Cyrus, she auditioned for Hannah Montana when she was only 13, and she was originally going for the best friend role. But her talent, her comedic timing, and her voice were so off the charts, they just had to cast her as the lead. And pretty much overnight, she was launched into this massive global spotlight.
And the success was, well, it was staggering. The show was a hit right out of the gate. The soundtracks, her own solo albums, everything she released shot straight to #1. It was just this non-stop 4-year run of complete chart domination.
By the time she was only 16 years old, 16, Miley had become the youngest artist in history to have 4 #1 albums on the Billboard chart. I mean, that level of success at that age is practically unheard of.
The fan frenzy was so real that when she went on tour in 2007, a Ticketmaster official actually compared the demand for tickets to the Beatles and Elvis. Yeah, you heard that right. This wasn't just some popular kids show, it was a full-blown cultural phenomenon.
But, as that Hannah Montana chapter started to close, Miley began this very public and very intentional process of breaking away from that squeaky clean image that made her famous in the first place.
The first major signal was in 2010 with the album Can't Be Tamed. You could just feel the shift. The sound was edgier, the lyrics were a bit more suggestive, and her live performances, well, let's just say they started getting people talking. It was pretty clear she was done playing the Disney teen idol.
But if Can't Be Tamed was a crack in the foundation, Bangers in 2013 was the wrecking ball that brought the whole house down. She completely reinvented her sound, diving headfirst into hip-hop and trap, and this era gave us massive hits like We Can't Stop and her first ever #1 single, Wrecking Ball. And you literally cannot talk about the Bangers era without talking about that 2013 VMA performance. It was a moment, it was provocative, it shocked a lot of people, and it created an absolute media firestorm. Whether you loved it or you hated it, that one performance cemented her new, rebellious image in everybody's mind.
And as we saw earlier, the visual change was already happening. This shot from her tour back in 2011 just shows her embracing a style that was worlds away from the pop star fans were used to. The breakaway was in full swing.
So after shattering her old image, Miley used her newfound freedom to do something really cool. She just started exploring. She completely refused to be put into any one musical box.
And this constant evolution is what earned her the nickname the Pop Chameleon. And honestly, it's the perfect description. It really captures her unique ability to just completely transform her music and her whole vibe from one era to the next.
I mean, just look at this journey. After the hip-hop sound of Bangers, she takes this hard left turn into psychedelic music with Dead Pets. Then she pivots all the way back to her country roots with Younger Now. And after that, a full-on glam rock album, Plastic Hearts. It's like a brand new artist every single time.
And the thing is, this wasn't just random. Each of these genre shifts was a really deliberate reflection of a new phase in her life and in her artistic journey. The range here over just one decade is truly remarkable. You've got hip-hop, psychedelic, country, rock, and then back to this super refined pop sound. Let's be real, very few mainstream artists have that kind of genre-hopping skill. So, after years of controversy and all this artistic exploration, where did it all lead? Well, it led to a massive resurgence, which ended up being the biggest success of her entire career.
In 2023, she gave us Flowers, and that song was an absolute phenomenon. It wasn't just a hit, it was a global anthem of self-love that put her right back at the very, very top of the pop world. And Flowers didn't just climb the charts, it smashed records. It became the fastest song in Spotify's history at the time to hit 1 billion streams. It only took 12 days. Just wild.
And all those years of risk-taking paid off with the ultimate validation. At the 2024 Grammys, she won Record of the Year and Best Pop Solo Performance for Flowers. And, believe it or not, those were her very first Grammy wins. Talk about a long time coming.
You know, her godmother, the legend Dolly Parton, really summed it up perfectly. This quote just gets right to the heart of it. Behind all the transformations and all the headlines, there has always been this incredibly smart, talented person with a clear vision.
So today, her legacy is totally secure. She's the pop chameleon, sure, but she's also officially a Disney legend, recognizing where she came from. She's considered one of the most important pop stars of this century, and she uses her platform for good with her Happy Hippie Foundation. It's been an incredible full-circle journey.
Which, of course, leaves us with one final exciting question. For an artist who has built a 2-decade career on defying expectations and constantly evolving, what could possibly be next? With Miley Cyrus, I think the only thing we can be sure of is that it won't be boring.